is Professor Theoceratops, and may I introduce you to Digging Deeper Bite Size. Oh, hello, young pups. It really is a delight to have you join me this evening today. Now, unfortunately, I have some sad news for you. Due to my ridiculously old age, I turned 95 this Monday. Due to the fact that I'm really old, and for some other reasons, I just simply cannot keep making these videos. I am an old man, and I plan to keep telling people about Jesus until the day I die. But I simply cannot keep making these videos, and for that, I am deeply sorry. Next week shall be my final episode, where I'll answer all the questions that I've not yet answered. I still will answer questions by mail. If you put them in the question box, I'll still write to you, so do keep up that good practice. But for today, I would like to talk about what I think is the most important thing for you young pups to remember for the rest of your lives. But before I do, how about a quick question? Now, today's question comes from Victoria at Saturday evening. Now, Victoria asks, how does God want us to deal with death? Now, Victoria, that is a fantastic question, particularly because death is something that every person in the world has to deal with at some stage in their life. So, how does God want us to deal with it? Well, the Bible tells us a number of things here. Firstly, it tells us how Jesus dealt with his friend Lazarus dying. You see, Jesus, he got very upset. He got upset because death is a really sad and bad thing. It really is. Jesus cried about his friend Lazarus dying. And it is okay and actually good for us to get upset about death too. It is a horrible thing. But the second thing that we should do is to remember what Jesus did about death. You see, in that part of the Bible where it tells us about Jesus' friend Lazarus dying, Jesus tells a lady called Martha that he is the resurrection and the life. He is the one who has the power to rise to raise people from the dead back to eternal life. You see, because Jesus rose again after he died, he will never die again. And he has the power to raise us to life, never to die again. And that gift is for everyone who trusts in Jesus. And so that means that we don't need to be scared of death anymore if we trust in Jesus, because we know that we will be raised to eternal life. But it also means that we want to tell everyone we can about Jesus, because unless they trust in him, they won't be raised to eternal life. And that will be truly sad. So, Victoria, and anybody else, if the topic of death comes up with your friends or something, tell them that Jesus beat death, and he has the power to beat our death too, if we trust in him. Now, Victoria, I hope that was helpful. Now, you and everyone else, please stay tuned for the rest of the episode, when we talk about what I think is the most important thing for you young pups to remember. Welcome back to the rest of the episode. Now, the most important thing that you can remember is that Jesus Christ is number one. He is the Lord. He is the King. He is the boss. Don't ever forget that. He is in charge of the world, and he, Jesus, is in charge of you. Have a look at this verse in the Bible. Don't forget to pause the video. Did you look at it? You see, the Lamb is Jesus. He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He is above everyone, and everyone in the entire world, and everyone who has ever been made must obey him. It is super important to remember this. Even more important than brushing your teeth. Although that is important too. How good is it that we can do both? We can remember this about Jesus, and we can remember to brush our teeth. But don't forget this about Jesus. It is the most important thing ever. And Jesus, he is number one. And it was him, Jesus, who came and died for you to be forgiven. But he now is more alive than a sheep at the railway station. He is alive forever, and he is the King. So trust Jesus. Listen to Jesus. Follow Jesus. Love Jesus. Talk about Jesus. Live for Jesus. Until the day you die. Never forget that Jesus is number one. I hope that you young pups can maybe be one day as old as me, and you have told people about Jesus your whole lives, and you are still trusting Jesus. Believe in him. Pray that you would never forget that Jesus is number one. I do hope that you remember this. It is so, so important that you do. Jesus is number one. And always, even without me, although I hope I've taught you well, keep digging deeper into the Bible, even if it is just in bite-sized pieces. I am Professor Theoceratops, and Jesus is number one. Don't forget it. Goodbye, young pups. I'll see you one more time.